Today's video is about how to raise your vibration through transcendental sex. Today we are going to speak about secret sexuality. Basically, how to use love for elevating your consciousness. So if you have a partner, you can already, after this call, you can practice it. But if you don't have a partner, you can obviously practice it alone as well. So what is happening? So probably you know that sexuality went through a lot of changes during thousands of years. So we heard about Tantra sexuality thousands of years ago, and then we heard about that in the ancient times in Greece and Rome and in the Sumerians and Egyptian. This was very special. Sexuality was very special, and it was secret, and they really put a high emphasis on it, right? And then during the Middle Age times, when more like the Christian religion came in, and then other Western cultural beliefs started to come in, the sexuality was pushed back down, and it was like a guilt and shame was around it more, and it was more just a reproductive action, basically, to create children or new humans, right? So, but nowadays, with the freedom lifestyle from the 70s, spirituality was picking up on sexuality again. And then now people are more and more experiencing that how sexuality can actually help them to get into transcendental state, and even to samadhi state, and also to connect with God and the higher consciousness. So leave it in the chat, in the comments, if you experience something like that already, if you believe you had a transcendental experience through sexual intercourse, through making love, or you actually read about it, or you had some information around it, right? So what is the difference between Tantra sex and transcendental sex? So the Tantra has its own forms, techniques, what you learn, and then you actually implement, but the transcendental experience can actually happen instantly and very unexpectedly. And basically, some people experiencing it without any preparation or anything specific done upfront in spirituality. Might they were completely atheist, might they were completely like in different religions. So all kinds of people can experience without even preparation a transcendental state during sexuality. And it's not always even required a big bond between the partners, like being wife and husband, or being with the partner for many years. You know, it can be even at once in a lifetime with one person, something like that. So what can this transcendental experience be? Of course, is different for everyone. So I actually had an experience when I was still not I wasn't doing spiritual modalities at that time. I was actually, I wasn't even doing Reiki. I wasn't doing meditation. It was in beginning of my 20s, and I had a boyfriend at that time who I was actually dating for a couple of months back then, and we met quite rarely. And what happened is, one of the night when we had this sexual intercourse, we made love. Basically, what I experienced at the end of it, that actually I turned into particles. So this is one of the experience which is also in the list, like how you experience transcendental sex. So I actually turned into particles, and not just me, him as well, and everything around me. So basically, we become dissolved in the universe. So that's one thing what could happen to you during transcendental sex. And the funny thing was that he didn't know it. It didn't happen to him. but I mean, I told him what I experienced, and then he said he haven't experienced anything. So basically, it doesn't requires the two person to experience the same thing. Is a personal thing, and it can actually initiate only with you, as it can be your experience, even you are with a partner. And they don't truly know what's going on with you, basically. That's why it's so rarely spoken about it, and many people keep it as a secret for themselves. They don't even share it with the partner because they're afraid that the partner is going to maybe laugh about them or say like, oh, you were not focused, or you were like gone while I'm with you, and all kinds of things could come out of it, right? But basically, for me, that experience is to become one with the oneness, like with God, and seeing myself. I was literally seeing it physically with my eyes. My eyes was open, and this like was just boom, like I felt it as well. So I was literally feeling the vibration was so strong that I literally felt myself falling apart in my whole being. And then also I've seen everything falling apart. And in that moment, that took me like maybe half a minute or 1 minute. I don't even know how long was this thing. 1 minute, I would say. And yeah, it was very powerful. And that was actually what later, when I learned about, like, yes, we are particles, everything is energy, nothing is connected really, like all the physical things, what you see, like objects, they are not really, how can I say, objects, they are not really massive, you know, they are actually from particles, like the energy. And that experience opened my eyes to it and made me believe, actually. And until now, I see that yes, everything is particles, and I can imagine how is it possible because I went through that experience. So what also many people say is that transcendental sex can bring you an experience what you actually transform you forever, you know, or bring you some experiences what might lead you to try new experiences. Like, for example, if someone never meditated before, after like a transcendental experience, they're like, oh, okay, let's do some spiritual practices, meditation, and so on and so forth, or energy healing, because this is so real. So some of the experience can be also that they actually go to parallel realities. They actually jump, or even they are sucked into past lives, or they actually experience extreme calmness, like in the transcendental meditation, basically, and extreme relaxation. That also could happen. And what else could happen? Like, yeah, that they actually lose their physical feelings. Is the same what we experience during transcendental meditation. So all of these samadhi state can also happen in transcendental sex. So what I'm saying is that with a partner who you know more, and then who you feel more comfortable, is much easier, because there are certain things what you can actually make it more happen, like which can actually support these things to happen to you if you are really interested to use your sexual experience for actually transcend and to help you to raise your vibration, because then it's possible, and then it's can actually give you positive energies as well, and feeling in an accelerated state. And some people experiencing bliss during this, or they actually see like lights coming down to them, like a light column. So for this, actually what is recommended is first, like, to know the person who you are with and feel absolutely comfortable. So to love yourself as you are, you're not feeling any negative emotions about yourself, you don't want to hide yourself, you don't want to hide your emotions or hide your any expression what you actually experiencing or doing, and you don't want to actually so you just completely can let go all the guilt and shame and all the criticism and judgment, and just be yourself completely. So if you have a partner, you can be like that. That is actually the first step. And then the second is, if you meditate, for example, you do samadhi meditation before the sexual intercourse, that also can help you to lead to this experience, basically. And if you do the meditation together, then it's much more powerful. It's actually recommended by my karma guru as well, to protect your energies as well from entities and all kinds of, spirits or negative energies while you are actually together, because they can actually interfere in your intercourse, and they can actually take over kind of your consciousness and make you behave differently. So it's very it's highly recommended to actually do meditation, samadhi meditation, when you invoke the light, before you actually have this secret sexuality. And then the other thing what you can do is create your environment as a sanctuary. So make sure that where you're doing it, you have the space and time to do it. So shouldn't be a rush. It shouldn't be an uncomfortable place like a sofa or a kitchen table, or I'm saying. So it has to be completely relaxed, no time, no space, like everything has to be perfectly aligned for this experience to basically let it happen at its highest vibration. And so it's no wonder why when people are in love, they prepare everything with petals and a beautiful bed and all of these things, because they want basically this experience. They want even not the transcendental, but for example orgasm. So the funny thing is that actually the French people call the orgasms as little deaths, because it could be an experience for like living body. Like when you die, you leave your body, you transcend. So it can be a certain experience of death when you actually reach orgasm. And so what is the difference? Like there are different way of, because not every orgasm is a transcendental experience, that you need to understand, okay? So, and probably you are aware of that. So they could be completely different experience, and it's not required both in the same time. Actually, it's not the same, it's different. And also what I wanted to add here is that you can actually reach this state completely alone, experiencing on yourself basically, and you don't require a partner for this to reach this high vibration and meeting with the consciousness through secret sexuality. And then another thing is what some of the masters recommends is actually not allowing to reach actually orgasm, for the reason to keep the energy inside of your body and use it for your physical or mental activities. So that's another way to do it, actually not always allowing yourself to get into transcendental and connecting with the consciousness. You can actually stop yourself before it's happening and keep that energy for your own basically benefits for all kinds of activities what you want to use, and use that energy, because as you get into the doorway, you are already having that energy like a kundalini, awakened kundalini within you, what you can already use, but by transcending you already actually release it. So you can actually have an intention, like, okay, what is my intention today? My intention is to become one with the consciousness and release with into God, or I want to keep that energy currently for myself, for my own benefits, for my physical and mental benefits. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel because I upload daily.